You're on the Jobbaloon show.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hey, you guys were out here on the street. We're here with the big fan. You're watching Jobbaloon show. #1 place for the hottest gay fetish porn in Milwaukee. We'll be right back with plenty of more fans.
All right.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
You're watching the Jobbaloon show.
Oh, heck yeah. You guys big fans of the show?
Yeah, huge fan. I've followed for like 2 years now.
Oh, wow. An old school fan since the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. We're here with a couple huge fans. You're watching Jobbaloon show. #1 place for local Milwaukee swingers. We'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, did you not see the... Oh, I thought you said you were a fan of the show. Oh, shit.
Watching the Jobbaloon show.
Oh, heck yeah, bro. You a big fan of the show?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
You're watching Jobbaloon show.
Jobbaloon show.
#1 place for the hottest gay fetish porn in Milwaukee.
No.
What's that?
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know what it was? All right, you a big fan of the show, bro?
Hell yeah.
You're watching Jobbaloon show. #1 place for the hottest gay black dudes in Milwaukee. We'll be right back.
Some bullshit.
Oh, what's that?
You heard that shit? All right,
Okay.
take it easy.
Watching the Jobbaloon show.
Oh, heck yeah. You a big fan of the show?
What show is this?
Oh, basically I masturbate on a live cam.
Oh,
Hey, for my OnlyFans.
no, bro.
You're watching the Jobbaloon show.
Oh, heck yeah. You guys a big fan of the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this is awesome. Hey, you guys were out on the streets. We just ran into some huge fans. You're watching Jobbaloon show. #1 place for white supremacist content in Milwaukee. We'll be right back with more Aryans on the street. Oh, did you guys not know? Oh, yeah, you know.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of What a Week It's Been. I haven't done one of these in probably pushing a year, so I figured we'd come back with a bang. We are joined by Jobbaloon. You guys probably know him from TikTok and Instagram and his online presence, but we have the great pleasure of having him join us today. Jobbaloon, what's up, man? Can I call you Jobba?
Brother. Yeah, that works. That works. My family been calling me that since I was a kid. So they'll say Job or Jobs or Jabba since I was a little babe. So,
Cool, man.
so
That's
I
awesome.
identify with it. You know, I'm always like
a real name associated, you know?
yeah. Like, I don't know, trying to think of a name, it always like comes out contrived. You know, I don't want to give myself a nickname. So yeah, it just worked out. I used it for my music first because coming up with like a band name just seemed lame, and anything I came up with just sounded forced.
What were some of the worst ones that you thought of before
Oh
Jobbaloon?
God, it's so embarrassing. I was gonna do Solace, SALAS, because it's like
Okay.
what is that, a palindrome when it's the same forward and backwards?
Yeah.
It was already taken. But yeah, I'm happy we landed on Jobbaloon, and then it just was easy to. I'm already getting into too many details, but it was easy to convert it to like Jobbaloon show. Then would be my comedy stuff. So it's just
Great.
kind of been the overarching name. But you can call me Josh too. Either way.
Okay, Josh Jabba, Jobbaloon.
Yeah, not to make
That's
you
cool.
choose.
So I've been watching your stuff for a while, and you're one of the few people online that makes me like crack up. Like I'll watch your stuff and like I like really get like a good hearty laugh out of your content.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thanks
It's
so
really
much.
funny, man. So I'm really happy to have you on. It's kind of surreal because I feel like you're somebody I watch so frequently. It's just like, dude, there he is. What's up?
Right.
But I think you really tapped into something unique, in my opinion. And I'm curious to see how it grows, you know, because I think you are. It is so hard nowadays with just how oversaturated everything is to like find something that's so unique and to kind of take like a man on the street approach and have like a new spin to it, you know. So props to you, man. You found like a little unique something, you know. But I want to, of course, man. But so for people who don't know, you know, who may be new to your content right now in our audience and the Unfazed crew, like tell us a little bit about your content right now, and then I also want to hear kind of the evolution of it, like what you do now, and then kind of how you started. You kind of told me a little bit before in the pre-show, but kind of how it started and then what it evolved into, and then your plans for the future too.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Thanks, by the way. I'll say it officially on air. Thank you for having me. I feel honored. I feel so special and like a big fraud. I don't,
You're welcome anytime.
thank you, bro. Yeah, so basically to sum up what it is now, God, saying it out loud sounds so like basic, but the basic premise, and I keep trying to like diversify and change it up and stuff, but people keep liking the basic one. Is basically go on the street, ask somebody if they'd help me with a quick promo. I've learned lots of different ways to try and make them more likely to, if I say promo, they think it's gonna, I'm like, hey, would you just say you're watching the Jobbaloon show really quick? I usually have to like repeat it a couple times. But, so that's all that they're thinking they're coming in for. So they go, you're watching the Jobbaloon show. Then I throw in, are you a big fan of the show? Which normally they always just say yes because they're nice. And especially here in Milwaukee, they just are friendly people and they want to support. So they say, if they say they never heard of it, then I was like, would you mind pretending to be a fan? And they go, oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of the show. And then I go, all right, we're here with a huge fan. You're watching the Jobbaloon show, #1 place for fill in the blank. The main one I've used is like, oh God, it's always so on the spot when I try to regurgitate it. I'm like, which line do I use? But basically the idea is like say something that they really wouldn't want to be associated with. So normally I'm doing it to like presumably straight dudes and saying #1 place for the hottest naked gay dudes on the internet. We're here with a huge fan. We'll be right back.
Some of those crack me up, dude. Or like you're like, the #1 place for white supremacists, and it's like these like
right.
mellow like white college girls. Like, wait, what?
right.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, that's just the basic, fill in the blank. I'm always trying to come up with new lines. #1 place for satanic content. We'll be right back with more Satan worshipers. Anything that they wouldn't want to be associated with. So yeah, the idea is just to elicit a reaction, and that's, I think, what people like to see, even if they react with a laugh and they get that it's a joke, but mostly if they react in like horror, like, what did I just do? What did I just put my name on?
Yeah, you get some solid reactions, man. One of my favorites is the hot gay black singles in Milwaukee.
Right.
I'm always like, what the hell?
right. And then I love to throw in like, oh, are you not single? Like, just like I'm still presuming they're gay and then lots of other stuff has evolved out. So if they go, oh, no, I'm not gay. Oh, really? I thought you were gay. And then, oh, I thought you were checking me out. And then I can throw in the really base penis reference of, oh, I thought we were making eye contact and I saw you look down at my ding ding. And,
Oh, man. It's solid gold, man. It's solid gold.
Thank
but
you
I'm
so
sure,
much.
I'm sure it's a dual-edged sword though, right? Because it's like you're a music maker, you make other content. And it's interesting. There's so many times I've seen this with quite a few people where one thing takes off, where it's like, okay, that's my shtick, that's my spiel, that's like the thing that's like resonating with people. That's what's hot right now.
Right.
And then for a while, presumably, you're probably going to get tired of it. You're gonna lean into that, and you're gonna keep doing it, going back to it. But like, what are your feelings on that right now? Like, where are you at with that? Like, are you getting sick of it? Do you still really enjoy it? It's like, where do you see your content going forward? I'm always curious about that,
Right. No, that's a great question. Yeah, I feel like there is an aspect, shout out to my boy Justin, who's kind of been my work partner for years. And, we meet once a week and go over stuff and get each other, he gets me all pumped up and motivated. And we talk about, we just brainstorm ideas and stuff. And we've really kind of came back to like, and he's reinforced, like, you got to keep it fun for yourself, don't get bored of it and burn yourself out. But yeah, sometimes I'm out there and I'm doing the same old thing and I can tell that I'm saying the lines, they're so second nature now, and I'm like, so I try to change it up, but it like you said, it's tough because, if I do a completely new prank, like I tried, panhandling for money, raising funds for I don't know if you saw it, genital enhancement surgery.
Yeah.
And, comparing it to a chewed up baby carrot and a used up white piece of chalk. And, you try and come up with some lines ahead of time. And so I thought there were some good lines. It didn't get a ton of great reactions from people, but yeah, it's like the audience, they so far are still liking that main thing. But I imagine at some point they're going to get sick of it. But, yeah, I think changing the lines up, throwing in random other little bits, like I put in that gross fake booger for a few of them.
That was funny.
yeah, it's just that's helped a little, but yeah, I think the nice thing about it is it's like I'm saying the same lines, but it's a different person, a different reaction every time, so that kind of keeps it fresh, I guess.
I think it definitely will have some longevity for sure because it's like you can mix it up. You can always have new people on, and people like get familiar with it too. It's like you're almost like it's like a hit song. You know what I mean? It's like the artist can get tired of it in 10 years, but like once in a while, it's like, well, hell yeah, I still want to hear it. You know?
Right, right.
So as your content continues to evolve, like you can always kind of like revisit it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool. I think it's got some staying power. You know?
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, and not a point of bragging, but so many people I get so many comments that are like, "Oh, I thought this would get old, or I thought I'd get sick of this, but I'm not yet." So,
That's great, man.
yeah, still kind of dreading the day for when they do get sick of it, but that's why I'm still trying to expand to do other stuff, you know?
Cool, man. But it's very flattering though to have a hit like that, you know, and it brings
Yeah,
me joy. It cracks me up every time I see it, man.
thanks, thank you, dude.
So
Yeah, that's funny.
let's talk about the sorry to cut you off there. Let's talk about the origins of
Yeah,
let's talk about because I see the keyboard, I see the guitar behind you. You referenced having a band. Let's talk about that and then let's talk about getting into where you're at currently. Like what was like the trajectory? Like what were the, you know, some of the big highlights, you know?
sure, sure, absolutely. Yeah, basically music, always loved music. It was my first passion, you know, always thought I'd grow up to be, you know, rock star or not necessarily rock star, but you know, making a living off my music. And yeah, I put in a lot of years. Me and my buddy Justin spent like 3 solid years. Like, you know, I was doing it like 5 days a week. We were meeting up 3 days a week for 8+ hours. And, you know, just like grinding, trying so hard to promote it, you know, while making content, making music and videos and all that. But, you know, we put together a live show. We were in Detroit. I'm from Detroit, so I was living there at the time. And, you know, made this elaborate live show with like, you know, effects pedals and psychedelic visuals projected and lights and strobe and confetti cannon and fog machine. Like we just like basically ripped off like Tool and bands like that. And, you know, so I think we made some really awesome stuff, put out an album, you know, recorded it myself with his
What's
help.
the name of the album?
The Invitation, and it's
The
just
Invitation.
Jobbaloon.
There you
Yeah,
go. Cool. Is
I
it
gotta I gotta send you guys a care package. What was that?
I said is it streaming?
Yeah, yep. It's
Cool.
available. It's on all the platforms, so people can check it out. Just Jobbaloon under Spotify or
Hell
YouTube,
yeah.
whatever people use.
Yeah. And what were you saying? A care package? I will gladly accept.
Yeah, bro, we gotta hook you up, man. We gotta get you some merch.
Let's do it, man. We'll do some bartering. I'll send you some unfazed shirts too.
Oh, that would be dope, dude. I'd love it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, just spent so much time getting the music and couldn't make a fucking inch. I don't know, is it okay to F-bomb?
Yeah, yeah. Where are you?
Um, yeah, couldn't just get any traction. You know, I'd spend a few hours making like a beat, a couple hours making a psychedelic kind of cool video to it, throw it on Instagram, get like 6 likes, you know, in total. Like just could not, you know, make any headway. Um, and then, yeah, I don't know. We kind of dipped our toe in a couple different things. Like while we were doing it, we came up with this phrase. We'd say, "Follow the fun," and it's really helped because you know we'd be getting burnt out on one thing, and we're like, "Fuck it, let's just go, you know, do this or do that." And we'd come up with other things to think like maybe what if we did like a reaction video? Those are popular, and maybe you know we'll get some people over to my YouTube and to promote the music, you know. So I guess that's how it started. So it's like, well, let's react. That new Tool album's coming out. Let's do a reaction video to it, but let's do it as a character. Okay, who would be funny? Okay, so we came up with Pastor Roy, like Westboro Baptist, super conservative, religious character like Hellfire and Brimstone,
Yeah.
reacting to Tool. And we thought it was hilarious. Like we loved it. To this day, I still personally think it's probably funnier than Jobbaloon show stuff, in my opinion, even though we haven't really gotten anywhere with that. So we were kind of dipping our toe and doing different things. couldn't get anywhere with the music. Eventually, he went and did his own thing, and I moved out here to Milwaukee, and kind of everything got on hiatus. And yeah, it could turn into a long story, but basically, while I was with him, right before we kind of stopped working together for a while, in pursuit of promoting the music, we reached out to Shaggy Two Dope from ICP, from Insane Clown Posse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because he's in Michigan, and they had a podcast, and whatever, through my parents have a pie company. We offered him a pie. He said, can I come and shoot something at the pie shop? We produced this really elaborate kind of vlog for them with a, chef's hat with his name and a pie slingshot for him and his partner to hit each other with, and just kind of went all out. And then
Parents became juggalos, honorary juggalos.
right, yeah. I just pulled up a picture of my mom with Shaggy the other day, and yeah. So basically, it was like, hey, do you want to come work with us? And his big thing was like streaming, so I did a lot of work for them. And then basically just had the chance to stream once with those guys, his old partner. And I just loved it so much. It was like, dude, there's no way I'm not going home and learning how to stream. This was just so much fun. Like, it was just such a good outlet. Like, just to really let down my guard and just get really stupid and silly and just like let that side of myself out. It was like I think I've always loved performing and stuff, and even though I'm just myself on there, there's like that performative aspect, you're kind of getting hype and
Sure, yeah.
Trying
Are
to
you
be funny.
on Twitch or Kick, or what do you stream on?
Yeah, I started on Twitch, and then just had a super small following, like 6 to 10 people that would come on, and shout out to them. They were supporting it from the beginning. So I eventually, make a short story super long, I started an Instagram to promote the Twitch. I'm like, oh, here will be a little place for them to, for me to promote the upcoming streams and whatever. And then I was like, why am I just doing little promos? Like, I'll just do little skits, make little comedy skits and stuff, and just have fun with it. I've always liked filmmaking and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get out on the street and do something. And eventually I didn't have any ideas. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going out with my selfie stick and camera and just going to talk to people and see what happens. A little tidbit on the way there, I was like, you know what? Shut off the radio, shut off the distractions, just like leave some space for some ideas to come up, leave some silent space. And I was like, I already had the name The Jobbaloon Show, and I'm like, why don't I just go see if I can get people to say, cut a promo for The Jobbaloon Show, and I'll see if I can get them to pretend like they're a fan, And that was really just the initial idea. And then I was like, oh, wait, what if they pretend like they're a fan, and then, like I said before, I then reveal that the show's something like they wouldn't want to be associated with. So right from the beginning, it was like, oh, well, of course, like hot naked dudes, like I can see some straight dudes, freaking out about that. Satanism, white supremacy. So it was really just one idea, and I was gonna, and I went out and filmed it. I was just going to do a vlog, and each vlog was going to be different episodes. Like, I thought there would just be one bit, of many. But yeah, basically how it started, so I'm there with I think I had 100 followers on Instagram, and went out blistering cold in Milwaukee, out on the street, asking people. The few people I asked just laughed pretty hard, which I was like, oh, that's not good. Turns out people like that too. But anyway, this one dude, tall black guy, was walking by, and it's so funny because I remember I was gonna approach him, and so many people that basically before I approach anyone, I'm super nervous, super anxious. I know people say it doesn't.
That really surprised me, dude. Because I was, once I started watching some of your live streams, that's oh wow. And I heard you saying that quite a few times. You're like, oh man, I'm nervous. I gotta psych myself into this. I'm nervous. And I was like, wow, like you always seem just so confident with your delivery in the final product, you know? I was very surprised. I mean, I know it's natural, human nature, you know, but
Right.
I was kind of surprised by that. But it makes sense because like you don't know how they're gonna react. You don't know if they're gonna
Right.
haul off and try to, you know, hit you or something, you know?
Right. Uh, and it has happened a couple times. I'll have to tell you about it. Unfortunately, those videos I haven't been able to post.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, so yeah, basically super nervous out there. And still, like when I go on, like a couple days ago when I went out, it's helped to be streaming. Like now I stream live while I'm doing it, and that helps because I'm feeding off their energy. I'm more motivated to push it further, and people are encouraging me, you know. But normally out there by myself, it's like I talk to someone, even if it's like a good reaction and a good interaction, I like walk away and I'm just like, fuck. Like it's just so much anxiety. I'm just like,
Yeah, understandable. And then
yeah.
I'm so sorry, dude. I totally interrupted your story though. You're saying you walked up to that guy. It was like a tall.
Yeah. No problem at all. I was still on track with that. I'm all about so many tangents always going
No,
on.
it's good. The tangents are where the juicy parts are, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically I was gonna go up to him, backed out, like I still do for a lot of people. And then I was walking and I was like, man, I should have got that guy. And I happened to come across him again, and I was like, dude, this is your chance. Don't back down. I was like, you never know. What if this is the one video that takes off? Like, what if this interaction? And I remember thinking that. I'm like, what if this changes the whole, you know, trajectory and finally you get somewhere? What if this is the video that hits?
Mhm.
And so basically did the basic prank. I was like, hey, bro. And I barely had my you know, script figured out, you know, so I'm kind of mumbling through it. And for some reason, instead of saying hell yeah, I'm like, oh, amen. I don't know why it slipped out, like my church background growing up or something. And I was like, oh yeah, you're a big fan of the show. He's like, oh, I've never heard of it. I was like, oh, just kind of act like you did. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I love the show. And I was like, all right, amen. We'll be back with plenty more hot studs after the naked hot studs after this. And he's like, naked hot guys. I was like, yeah, it's that's what the show is. And he goes, naked guys? And I was like, yeah, well, it's not porn. And like that thing that I've ended up coming back to that line a billion times just popped out, like wasn't premeditated. So I think it came off really genuine. Like,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was funny because it's like, as soon as someone's like, oh, it's not porn, it's like, well, it's probably porn. You know what I mean? Like, if you're qualifying it to say it's not porn, it's probably close enough, you know? And I'm like, yeah, it's just solo dudes on a webcam. And that all just came out, you know, out of nowhere. And then he simply replied with, oh, hell nah. And I just edited it like that, cut the video like that. The audio sucked. Like, you always do these things that you think, like, we would put so much work into something and think, oh, this is going to hit. And then this was the most just unplanned, spontaneous, poorly filmed and edited. And like I said, bad audio quality. And
That's what needs to go. It's like the more effort sometimes you put into something, it's like nobody looks at it, but like a video you do like on your phone that's like has like a bunch of noise in the background, you're like, oh, that one's gonna blow up. It's so weird.
Right.
So weird.
You just can't predict it. Social media is the Wild West, dude. It's so hard to know what's going to take off. And so, yeah, it was like overnight, like, I don't know, the algorithm, people started liking it. It caught the algorithm. And then it was just like,
And it blew up on Instagram first, right? Instagram.
yeah, and Instagram. So, yeah, it ended up hitting like 3 point something million
Wow.
views. And so I went from like 100 followers to 6,000.
Wow.
Which was like crazy for me, you know. It was like, you know, so much grinding and not being able to get anywhere.
How many years were you at it until that hit? Like, just, you know, based on all your creative stuff, music included, like how long was that for you? How long was your journey?
Like doing it basically full time, probably 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I've been doing it all my life, but that I was like very heavily, you know, promoting and trying to get somewhere with it. And yeah, from there I was like, all right, I got to do more of these. So I went out, did more, tried shooting a whole other episode. I was going to turn to a vlog, didn't take off. Like, it never goes as planned, you know. I'm thinking these are going to be YouTube vlogs, you know, but yeah, it just turned into clips. Kept doing that, and then, you know, slowly grew, hit 10,000. I think I had another video semi take off, and then yeah, bumped me up to yeah, just kind of been a slow growth since then. But I learned you got to like post every single day. Like things would take off, and then I would not post for a couple weeks, and then it was dead, and it would take forever to get that traction again. And then yeah, so I think right now it's at like 21,000. And then TikTok had, and weirdly enough, I was at like 5,000 followers on TikTok doing the same stuff. So it had kind of taken off on there too. And I eventually reposted that same old video after I have all these other ones with better production and a camera guy for some of them and music. And then that one took off on TikTok. Just something about, I call him the Hell Nah guy. Shout out to Coop, his name is, and because he ended up finding it and reached out to me.
Oh, nice.
Somebody sent it to him, and I actually had him come and film something for me once, and tried to
nice little solo video. Oh, okay.
right, exactly, good one. And yeah, no, that I had him film the Walmart prank. If you saw those ones. Because I was like, this will be the next episode, and nobody really cared. They were like, no, more hot naked black dudes. And and I did a little video with him like, hey, introducing the guy. Nobody really cared about that either. But yeah, for some reason, that one, it took off on TikTok again. And so it caught the algorithm, bumped me up. And then I think I'm at like 22,000 on TikTok. Not that it's all about the numbers, but that was
it's cool though.
It's kind of the evolution of it.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to know that there's an audience. You know what I mean? It's like, especially when you put stuff for so long, and you're like, oh, well, it's not just going out into the void anymore. It's like there's actually some people like, checking this out, which is awesome.
It's almost surreal. I'm like, I cannot believe this many people are watching it. To like post something, and even to get, a few hundred likes. I'm like, man, like I can't believe there's actually that many people out there that are seeing my work. Because like. To most people, it's like nothing, but I feel like, wow, I've already achieved. Like, of course, I want to keep growing, but I'm like, these are all the eyes I really need, other than hoping to eventually make money off it one day to make it sustainable. But to me, it already feels like success. It's crazy.
That's awesome. How's your balance been in terms of something we all got to do? I got to do it. Emmett's got to do it. Anybody I know who's doing creative endeavors, whether it's music or videos or whatever, like balancing a day job with content creation. Like what's that like for you? I mean, like what's your, any tips and tricks, like utilizing your off time? Like how are things for you in that realm?
Another great question. Yeah. Well, luckily I got married last August, and
congrats, man.
Appreciate it. And I just have the best, most understanding wife. She just like lets me do this basically full time. Neither of us are bringing in a ton of money. I'm like part-time working for my parents, and I'm always remotely and looking for video work, always trying to find video work, but still like, I'm working for a couple of comedians, and I don't want to say what I'm charging them, but it's not much more than minimum wage, so it's not bringing in the money with it yet. But
are you writing for them, or are you doing videography for them?
Video editing. Yeah.
Cool.
For like clips and stuff. And, it's just, it's real tough. It's real tough. The trying to make money off it is just, I don't know if it will ever happen. If it does, it might be years down the road. So I'm always looking for more video work. That's kind of where I'm at. And just recently, not as interesting of a subject, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to school for I needed one more class to get my little associates, and then I can substitute teach. So, and then there's always the question, is someone going to see the content and not let me, is that going to hurt me and come back to bite me in some way? But
I do think the landscape for that is changing quite a bit, especially with like just so many people having online presence, and just how everything has changed just even in the last like decade. So you might be surprised. You might be all right.
Yeah, hopefully. So that's kind of what I'm leaning on right now. I'm like, come fall, I should be able to sub, and if I can do that a couple hours a week or a couple days a week, might make it sustainable.
Heck yeah, man. And then I know you're also diving into YouTube, and you also got the newer podcast, right? Tell us a little bit.
Yeah,
That's pretty
thanks.
interesting. And I think there's definitely some money to be made on that front, with Google ads and stuff like that. But not even just the money, but just like deeper content. I think that's what a lot of your fan base is going to be excited about.
Right, right. It's so hard to get people to like switch platforms, they're on Instagram, nobody wants to click a button and switch over. So my YouTube is still like, I don't know, I don't even think I have 1,000 followers yet. But yeah, mostly I'm just like, it's kind of that follow the fun thing. I'm like, I've always wanted to do a podcast. I attempted one in the past. And I'm just like, I love streaming, and the interaction and stuff, but it wouldn't really be conducive for a podcast because there's a lot of back and forth. I'm like, I just want to go on by myself, treat it like a stream, just be myself, have fun. And mostly these have all just been such good outlets for me. Like, other than going out on the street and doing it, that part is still hard. But yeah, doing the podcast, I just recorded one episode and it's just kind of me being wacky and reacting to a couple videos. And
That's the best, man. I think you
yeah.
should keep it up, though. I think that's going to be cool to see it grow.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna get around to that second episode soon.
Hell yeah, man. Now, based on your experience doing man on the street like interviews, who do you think was like the best at it in the past? Like, did you have like kind of like an inspiration, like Leno doing jaywalking, or like Conan O'Brien going out and doing stuff, or was this just kind of your own thing?
Another great question. I think the original for me at least was Andy Kaufman back in like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman.
He would do the, just elaborate prank type stuff, he would do a character. He did his Tony Clifton character, that kind of inspired the Pastor Roy and stuff. I don't know if he did so much man on the street, but just as far as just like messing with people's heads and doing really weird pranky type stuff.
Yeah, he was one of the OGs for that.
Yeah, he to me he's like the founder, and then obviously Sacha Baron Cohen was like huge. I mean, he's the GOAT. I love Borat and everything.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, so I think doing the character, even though I'm not really doing a character as Jobbaloon, yeah, just kind of that public interaction, pulling a prank on the public and getting people to react.
That's
so
great.
Yeah, them too.
Geniuses, absolute genius.
Yeah.
As far as you touched on a little bit ago, but I wanted to dive into before I forget. Bad interactions, like bad interactions on the street, like either people wanting to fight, people following you. You've alluded to some of that. Maybe interactions with the popo. Like,
right.
Tell me any of that you've encountered.
Sure. Yeah. Well, starting with the police one, that was the first thing. I had only been doing it like, I don't know, I'd been out on the street a couple times, and I was on the UW campus, Wisconsin. And, I had, it was a long thing. I pranked somebody. He told me not to use it. When he thought it was a prank still, I eventually told him at the end. In the beginning, I wasn't telling people that it was a prank, and at some point I felt kind of bad about it. I'm like, this feels mean. Like, I gotta tell them afterward. But I was like, no, have integrity. Don't tell them. And then I'm like, screw it. Let them in on it. Don't let them walk away thinking.
Yeah.
But it kind of got me into trouble. But basically I did tell this kid it was a prank, and he shook my hand and said, oh, that was great, whatever. And then he went off and called the police on me anyway. Which is like, what are you calling the police? Like,
yeah, what
I don't know. You think like call a lawyer or something. Like, what are the police gonna do? But they approached me on campus. It was the week after. They're like, yeah, we've gotten 2 calls about you, and what are you doing? And it was like a moment of, do I prank the police, or do I tell them what I'm doing? I'm like, go for it. You need that gold footage. Like,
yeah.
So, I'm like, yeah. And you can even see in the video, did you watch the police one, the body cam footage?
I honestly don't remember the police one.
Okay. You'll have to watch it. It was a year ago, and I finally obtained the body cam footage and posted it.
Oh, shit.
And, I'm just like, you can see in the video, I'm like hesitant. And I'm like, yeah, basically we just do a solo show, it's like solo guys on a webcam. So I'm just like lying to the police. And then I'm like, you got to ask them if they're interested in modeling. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll just write you, that's just a warning. Is that cool? I'm like, yeah. But, and you hear me nervously, like trying to get the words out. I'm like, we have a fireman on there, and we're kind of looking for other, tough kind of guys. You wouldn't have any interest. And then you can tell they're just taken aback, like, what the fuck is this kid doing? You kid. But the police report did say male late 20s, which I felt great about because I'm
Very
40.
nice.
So that was a nice compliment on their part.
Nice little ego boost.
Right.
Top at the bottom was like very interested.
Right. So they
That's cool you went for it though. Like to have that moment of like, should I? And you chose the content over the consequence. That's awesome.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking. I really am like, I won't do it again, that was probably the only time. But anyway, so then of course they asked for my ID and, turned into a bigger thing. And he ended up, yeah, I don't know. And then I kind of accused them of being homophobic. But which that was like the original line, like, oh, you don't want to promote gay porn? Well, you're a homophobe, because like obviously who wants to promote porn? But, just creating these awkward, cringy situations. But
That's the best.
yeah, ended up getting a ticket for it. He wrote me a ticket in the mail, had to go to court twice over it. Briefly considered pranking the judge. And I was like, no, tell them it's a prank when you're in court. And wifey definitely didn't approve of.
But what did they write you a ticket for? Was it for like trespassing or like harassment, or what they like technically
For soliciting, which sounds even worse than it is, but it's essentially like job soliciting. Like I guess you're not supposed to do it on campus without a permit.
Okay.
So anyway, I went to court. The judge ended up dropping it because it was all over that kid's. He basically was like, you put up someone's footage without their permission. That was the main thing, but he wrote the ticket for soliciting. Yeah, I don't know if I left that out, but basically, I took the kid's video down, and the judge dropped it. So that was that. You'll have to see the police one though. I am pretty proud of that one.
That's awesome.
It was pretty wild.
I'm gonna watch it right after this. That's hilarious.
And then the other two times, so yeah, I had a kid again before I told people it was a prank. I did the prank on him, and he's he actually was being homophobic, and he's dropping the N-word a little, like not hard R, but still inappropriate. Whatever. I put his video up, and I let him go off thinking it was real, my bad. And I was out streaming probably 3 months later, and I saw him. I'm like, and everyone that it's like I recognize them so much because I spent so much time editing their face. I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Anyway, and he came up and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. You remember me? And he's like, and I'm like, and for whatever reason, the first thing came out of my mouth was like, don't hit me, bro. I sound like such a wuss on it, but it's all being live streamed. He's like, get that fucking camera off me. I'm like, bro, you're being live streamed. Don't. And he's like, get that fucking camera off me. Anyway, it wasn't anything major. He just basically shoved me real hard, tried to push me into a wall, and walked off, I think because he was on camera. And then I'm yelling at him, and there are these little old ladies walking by, and I'm calling him a privileged, homophobic, racist, white bitch, and like screaming these cusses at him. And
yeah.
Anyway, I waited outside his work, and he ended up coming back like an hour later remorsefully and was like, I'm sorry I pushed you, bro. He's like, but you got me on a gay porn site. He's like, that could hurt my relationship, bro. I'm like, bro, it's a prank. He's like, well, I didn't know it was a prank. And basically he apologized, and I apologized. He's like, man, every day I've been thinking about it every day since you did that, and just getting angrier and angrier. So yeah, I felt bad, and we made up, and it ended up being a nice thing. And I got it all on video, but he asked me not to use it. So now I'm super careful about not using people's footage, even though it would be a great clip. you know.
Yeah. Now you can still upload them to Pornhub. Just, a little.
You think so? Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But well, at least it worked out. That's good.
The one other time was so this kid, I didn't even prank him. I asked him and his group of friends, hey, when do you want to be on my show? They said no. He ended up coming back. He goes, yeah, I'll be on it. And I go, okay, just say you're watching the job. And I didn't even say anything. Apparently he sniffed me out as like a troll, he could just knew that I was not legit. And he lunges for my camera out of the selfie stick or my phone and just picks it up and slams it on the cement as hard as he can, just like trying to break it, and runs off laughing.
Damn.
I was just like taken aback. I'm like, what the hell? And it's like so hard for me to just walk away and let somebody get away with it. And I already had been to court over stuff. The judge was like, if you get in front of me again over, your antics, I'm not going to go easy on you. I'm like, well, I'm just calling the police on him. I'm just calling the police. I'm doing the right thing. So I was like, ran up to him, following him. And the police, for some reason, 911 said, you've called the non-emergency line. Please hold. So I was on hold the whole time.
Yeah. That's
Anyway, you're right. And he's like, oh, get away from me, troll. You're a troll, blah, blah, blah. He ends up taking the lid off his like big gulp Mountain Dew, splashes it on me, and just lunges at me. I think he was drunk, but
Yeah.
he just lunged at me, had me like in a bear hug. And, it's crazy that this is the only time I've ever thrown a punch in my life. I've always been such a pacifist. And I was like almost losing my head, like, okay, I don't know, like freezing up. And then I was like, no, you know a little karate, get your head together, do something. Wasn't probably a good move, but I just punched him in the back of the head a couple times. His friends pulled him off me. And it was wild. I felt bad about it. I was worried I hurt him. I almost wanted to go back and make sure he was okay, but I'm like, I can't risk if somebody called the police.
Sounds like he deserved it, honestly.
And he was definitely the aggressor.
Yeah. No, you did the right thing, man. Did the cops end up showing up or no?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, after the brawl, I was still on hold, so I just hung up.
Wow. When the cops are minutes away, seconds count, right? That's what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Like in Detroit, you call them and they like never show up. They have too much going on. But I thought Milwaukee would be quicker.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Yeah, I mean, I know they got their hands full with a lot of stuff, but yeah, I've had that happen too a few times where it's like, oh shoot, yeah, you got to just kind of handle things in the moment, Good for you though. It's good.
Thanks. Yeah, I there was part of me that felt a little good about it because throwing a punch back, and I don't know. I got a little bullied and stuff in high school, and I feel like I never really fought back or did much. And I don't know. I keep telling people that I'm like, man, when you get bullied and you don't ever fight back, like it seems like it comes out in your 40s. Like for me, like now I was like, I'm just gonna take it. What's
It'll
that?
be like that. It'll be like that kind of like underlying frustration or anger, And then
Right.
somebody like that comes at you with a big gulp and you're ready to fuck them up.
Right. I'm like, I'm not gonna, just sit here and take it like I used to. And other than that, I would say like 1 in 30 people get real upset,
Right.
which I do feel bad about. And I don't post their, video ever if they tell me not to.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, man, I feel like it still spreads more good than bad. So many people online love it. So many people on the street, most people laugh it off. But yeah, occasionally you get somebody who's aggressing. Those are the only 2 times it got physical, but definitely got yelled at. And
It's good that it was few and far between,
yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
still think you should get the bear blaster, man. Just have not just a regular little pepper spray. I mean a bear blaster.
Yeah.
That way it's like you're not walking around with a gun, But it's
Right.
like you can still fuck somebody up pretty bad if it's somebody like that, like coming at you like that. I mean, you could like do some serious damage with that. Just a shot of that to the face,
Right. I actually did start carrying pepper spray, but I should probably get the heavier version of it.
Yeah. I mean, just in case, if you have people lunging at you like that, it's hopefully you won't need it, but it might be a little extra peace of mind, and it's not as serious as getting caught with, shooting somebody,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I do feel, my wife was real concerned after that. She's like, are you going to keep doing this? I kind of want this to be a wake up call. I'm like, I got to keep doing it, but I guess I'll carry pepper spray. And if another conflict ensues, I'll just de-escalate like as
Yeah.
much as possible. I exit the situation. If somebody smashes my phone, I'll walk away with a smashed phone. And yeah, there's been a few times where people, I think, I don't know, they just, if they're homophobic or it just triggers something in them where they just really get upset that I
Yeah.
made them out to seem gay. One I didn't even post yet. Somebody did call me the F slur and threatened to beat me up just the other day.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, are you going to post it or no?
Yeah, I blurred his face. He didn't ask me not to post it, so I'm kind of like, hey, let his own, if it comes back to bite him. But I'm like, he's some young kid going to college there. I'm like, I don't want to ruin his life. Who knows?
You're a very good soul, man.
Oh,
Josh.
thanks, bro.
But stuff, it's like, it's so funny too, because it's like to the, just the casual viewer, it's like, oh, this guy's, trolling people. It's like, he's just a jokester. He's a prankster. Then you watch your live streams and you're like very considerate. You're like very like, you're weighing things. You're very considerate of people's feelings. It's like you're a very thoughtful person. I think sometimes people might not know that, just watching your stuff from like a casual
Right.
perspective, which is good.
No.
It's a good way to be.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that a lot. That's nice. I do see some of the other pranksters. Some of them, I'm like, dude, this is just mean. Like, that's just spreading bad vibes, like pissing people off. Like,
Yeah.
admittedly, yeah, it does occasionally piss somebody off, but
There's so much prank content that I don't like, that I like hate. Like I'll watch it and I'm like, this shit sucks. Like it's like cheap, it's basic, it's like not very thoughtful. There's so much stuff where I watch and it's just irritating. It's cringy. You can just tell there's stuff that's just like this like cheap surface level bullshit. And
right.
then stuff like you where I'm like, oh, I freaking love this. Like this is hilarious. It's a slightly different approach, But I do think there's a lot of people out there who just suck at it,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I hate to put any of the other pranksters down, but yeah, some of it when it's like mean-spirited, I'm just
For
like,
sure. Yeah.
I wouldn't feel good about doing that. Just for the content, just for my own sake,
Yeah, I like your type of stuff. I like, of course, Impractical Jokers, like hilarious. Those guys
Everybody tells me to watch it. I still haven't.
Oh, dude, they are so funny. I think you'd get a kick out of them, definitely, especially some of the earlier seasons before they were well known.
Okay.
It's funny. It's definitely funny. Now, you said you've done some work with some different stand-up comics. Have you dipped your toes into doing stand-up comedy yourself?
Man, just barely dipped my toe. It is something I want to do. I'm kind of, on the one hand, I'm like, I'm 40. I really believe it takes at least a good 10 years to get good on stage doing stand-up. I'm like, I don't foresee myself becoming a successful stand-up comic, but it is something I want to do just for like the challenge, and I think I would really enjoy it. So I did one open mic here so far, and then somebody asked me to actually judge a roast battle, so I got to get on the mic a little bit and be the judge. So I do really want to do it and just maybe develop that skill set too, like what if I have the opportunity to be in front of a crowd? Like I'd like to get to the point where I can do what I'm doing streaming, just being silly and everything, and be able to, let that part of myself out in front of a crowd. So
That's kind of cool with how things are now, and you already having a dedicated audience. You could do open mics and put up clips of you doing it. You know what I mean? You could do
right.
reels, you could do whatever, and just give little snippets of it and kind of see how it goes. And it's like, they don't know what size the audience is. You know what I mean? It's like you go up there, you do a cool 5 minutes, and it's like that could be cool content too. If you have someone recording in the audience.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. I did attempt, I think I actually did stream it the one time I did, but yeah, I had like 3 minutes on stage.
Hell yeah, dude.
I flubbed it. I definitely like somewhere between mid and bombing. But it was nice because I didn't beat myself up for it. I didn't walk away feeling like I failed. I was like, that was a good try, you know. So that was a success just in terms of like, you know, and actually I wasn't very nervous, which was amazing.
That is
'Cause
amazing.
I did it one other time in Detroit like 12 years ago, and just an open mic, and I was so nervous. And honestly, I think from doing all the man on the street, I think it has dulled some of the nerves.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I was
A little desensitized, like
right, a little numb. Yeah.
that's
So
amazing.
I do want to do it again. Yeah, that was a good question. I would really love to. And
I think you should. I think you should. I get that vibe from you, and I think my brain immediately goes there, probably like a lot of people, because the man on the street content. It's like immediately the brain kind of associates that with like, oh, comedians are good at that. Oh, Jay Leno was huge on that. You know what I mean? It's like
right.
Conan O'Brien. It's like your brain kind of goes to places like that where you're like, oh, okay, cool. That would be a perfect match for you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll let you know how it goes, or I guess you'll see if I throw some clips up, but
Hell yeah, man.
I'm
What's next for you on your docket? We can start. I guess we can start wrapping it up here a little bit. But what do you got cooking right now for the rest of the month and for the summer?
yeah, well, I have this dream of doing a Jobbapalooza event.
Oh,
I know I'm way too small to do it yet, but it's again bringing me back to the follow the fun thing. I'm like, man, it just sounds so fun if I could get 20 people to come. So I've been asking in Instagram, like, who would do it? You know, who would come? You know, you'd probably need a sponsor and stuff because I can't. I'm like so in the whole doing music stuff. I mean, I probably spent like $20,000 and made 30. You know, like
yeah.
$30. You know, I'm like, you know, got a family now. Like, I can't just keep blowing my, you know, investing without any return. But, yeah, I've been brainstorming ideas for it. And that's part of the reason I'm like, if I did something like that, I want to be able to be on stage and be comfortable, you know, even if I'm just like hosting an event.
What would it entail? The Jobbapalooza? What would it be? Would it be like various artists? Like, what would be the whole thing?
Well, so I was thinking my vision is rent out a bar, you know, for the afternoon to night, and excuse me, all the Zevia. I heard you guys on your thing, like you have your like diet group, accountability group. Are you still
Oh
doing?
yeah. Haven't really been doing it now.
Okay.
Emmett's been doing like a Star Wars themed workout he's been doing lately, and I'm still going at the gym at my own pace. And
Okay.
yeah, we had for a while there, we had a group of us that were holding each other accountable with the
Right.
exercise and everything. Now everyone's just kind of you know how that goes. The group chat fizzles out, but a couple of us are still doing our thing, you know.
Nice. Good on you. Yeah, I only bring it up because I'm drinking my Zevia.
Zevia is good for you, man. I heard a weird thing. I heard that Zevia root beer was like the best-selling soda of 2024, and I'm like, what? Really?
That's wild.
Like more than Coke? I don't think so.
Right. That's crazy.
It doesn't seem right, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking Jobbapalooza. I was trying to think, I'm like, what could we do? You know, I figured just hang out in the bar, you know, just hang out with people, have fun. I'm like, maybe we get like a male stripper who's like, you know, just create some cringy stuff, you know, who's passing out hors d'oeuvres, you know.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like the gay theme. I'm like, what do we get? Like an X-rated magician, like a juggler? Could we have people do? And then I'm like, oh, a talent show, and that way, like people can be included and be involved. But
That's
then the key idea I came up with that I think would be the bulk of the thing is a cringe contest. And I won't give too much away in case, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Who knows if it'll ever come to fruition, but
You can allude to it. You can allude to it. You don't have to give it all.
yeah, basically anyone that comes, you know, draw their name out of a hat, draw the challenge up out of a hat, and just get them on the stage to like, okay, can you get through this like cringy moment, you know, without stopping, or not necessarily cringy, but just these different challenges. I mean, there's like basic stuff like you could eat spicy stuff, or you could do the, you know, eat a cup of mayo challenge, you know, things that I don't know. I think the audience seeing somebody up on there struggling with something would be entertaining, but the main one I was like, I actually already called up a place for a male stripper, and I was like, what about like a straight dude getting a lap dance from a guy in a banana hammock Speedo, you know, and like, can they sit through it for 2 minutes? Will they stop, you know, and then give away prizes and stuff if they can.
Would you do your music too? Would you like MC and do the music?
I figured at MC, I thought about music. It's possible. It's possible. I'd like to keep it mostly on the funny side, which that's kind of been hard. I've been trying to slip in the music into this stuff. Like maybe I can, maybe now that there's an audience, I can kind of poach them and get them over to the music, you know. So I try to slip it in, but I'm like, it's still got to revolve around the comedy.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, that's so. I think that's a great idea. I think you should do that. I think the variety show / talent show thing would be probably a cool way to go if you did it. But going back to you moving people, like moving audience from one platform to another, it's like that is such a pain in the ass. Same as like bringing them over to like your music, like trying to integrate that into the comedy. It's like you could
Right.
totally like post it. Like you could like post like a straight up music video on your Instagram. And I'm sure a lot of people would like it, but then other people would be like, whoa, what's going on? This is so different. But you could. I mean, it's like, why not, you know? All right, so we got a huge fan here. All right, can you do me a favor and just say you're watching Unfazed Review?
You're watching Unfazed Reviews, #1 place for the hottest buff bald dudes in Arizona.
Yeah. That was an honor, man. Thank you. That means a lot.
Dude, it means so much to me. Like I said, I'm honored, I'm flattered, I'm humbled.
Man, you're the best. Well, keep up your amazing content. And if you guys are not familiar with the Jobbaloon show, check out his links down below. Go support him. Check out his YouTube channel. Check him out on Instagram, all that good stuff. And if you guys are here for him and you're brand new to me, consider subscribing to Unfazed Review. It would definitely mean a lot. We got a whole bunch of content, and we appreciate you watching. So remain unfazed, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.